Welcome back. Today we will have a look at Taboo Conspiracy. He's back after his community strike because he spread lies about the ongoing pandemic, and he tried to start accounts on other platforms than YouTube, but there he have very few followers, so he's back at YouTube. And we will have a quick look at Nathan Oakley too. Okay, let's start. First of all, I want to thank all my patrons, members, donors and subscribers. All of you are important for me. Thank you very much.
In my Flat Earth Fact number 10 video, I discussed Felix Baumgartner's proof that the Earth is stationary.
So once again, Taboo makes a video about Felix jump from the balloon. Taboo Conspiracy and the other Flat Earth fools seems to think that these type of things are done to prove that we live on a globe. No one cares about you Flat Earthers. No one would spend money to convince you of anything. Because without this jump, the sensible part of the Earth population already knows that we live on a globe. We don't need spacewalks, jumps from balloons, and so on to know that we live on a globe.
To reiterate, according to the globe model, at the location of Felix's ascension, the Earth supposedly spins at the ridiculous speed of 867 miles per hour. Felix's balloon ascent lasted 2.5 hours, which would mean that Felix should have landed over 2,000 miles to the west in the Pacific Ocean if the Earth was spinning.
The same old flat earth nonsense that they are using when they're talking about balloons, airplanes, and so on. You refuse to understand the explanation of this, but you have no proofs by yourself that proves that we don't rotate. You only claim that we don't rotate. Ask your Fred Bob Nodell, or 15 degrees per hour Bob as we call him.
Instead, Felix landed 44 miles to the east, which is the wrong direction, clearly indicating the supposed spin of the Earth had no impact whatsoever on Felix's 2.5 hour ascension in a balloon, despite the fact that the air gets much thinner the higher you go.
And why did he move? Why didn't he land on the exact same spot as he started? It's something called, I don't remember the name. You can feel it when your hair is moving. Winds, yes, that's the thing.
As Felix's balloon ascended, it should have quickly fallen behind the ground that was spinning at 867 miles per hour, much like what you see here.
It starts to get pathetic. That old ball and the water. We've seen it before many times, and that don't correspond in any way with the Earth. Because do you think that ball have gravity?
But Felix also unwittingly proved the Earth is flat. First, from the inside of Felix's capsule at 128,000 feet, you can see the flat Earth horizon in the distance. Of course, when discussing the Red Bull jump, the media repeatedly showed pictures like this one. No, Felix did not jump over Planet New Mexico. This ridiculous curvature was only created by the camera's wide-angle lens, which is common with GoPro cameras. My own sister even used this image as her one and only proof of the globe.
I'm very glad to hear that your sister haven't been affected of your total lack of understanding of how reality works. Glad for her. And regarding wide-angle lenses, don't you understand why they have to use those? Because the capsule under this balloon is not big and they can't put the camera far away. So get the capsule, Felix and the Earth in the same shot. They must have a wide-angle lens. If you will not have this distortion, you would have a lens about 50-60 millimeters, and then you wouldn't see the whole Felix, the capsule, and only a small part of the Earth. How dumb can a person be?
But you don't have to take my word for it. Official storyteller Neil deGrasse Tyson stated the same.
And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space, look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
Let's assume that Tyson is correct that it would be impossible to see the curvature of the Earth at 128,000 feet on a globe, which contradicts nearly every other globe propagandist out there.
So he's trustworthy when what he says corresponds with your lies. If you understood what he said, it's about scale. You don't understand how big this Earth is. And you can see curvature if you have a big picture. And one great example is Merge, the project by Mr. Sensible. Look at his video and you will see curvature from a high altitude.
Regardless, Felix's indisputable evidence of the flat Earth is the fact that the horizon did not drop one iota from ground level all the way up to 128,000 feet.
Are you really this stupid, or are you dishonest, Taboo? First, if you look at this image where you place the line, that's not the Earth. It's a part of the atmosphere where they placed the line. And the other thing, you don't know if it's level because it's dangling under a balloon. Oh dear. This video is a lot of nonsense on repeat. We heard it before, we debunked it before. Taboo. Make your own observations, come up with some kind of proof. This video is only based on your fantasies. Or why don't you listen to your sister? Okay, let's move on to the next Flat Earth fool.
But it's hard for them because they're having to overcome arguments that are irrefutable. You know, the obstacles that they face, they try and overcome and often defeat their own arguments in doing so. Now, us highlighting that to them is going to be painful. Them doing it in the first instance takes effort and is also painful. So it's just a non-stop stream of cognitive pain for somebody who gets here. And earlier in the live show, I'm saying, well, do I necessarily want to subject the person I meet on the street or a loved one to that? Not necessarily. This is actually what we discussed with 10th Man in the pre-show. Well, why? Well, because some people who are walking around on top of that hill, blissfully unaware that they're in the Matrix, they don't necessarily need pushing down the hill. Now, can they cope? Maybe. Do they need to? Not necessarily. Are they going to suddenly be a freedom fighter to release other people from the Matrix? Probably not.
So we, who knows that we live on a globe, is in the Matrix, according to Nathan the Big Fool Oakley. Did you understand anything of this video? I played the complete one. It is called Anti-Flat Pain, and it's a short version from one of his so-called shows. But I'm not surprised. This is the type of nonsense that Nathan the Big Fool Oakley and his fanboys is spreading all the time. They never do anything to prove anything. They're sitting in their echo chamber and cheering Nathan for his wisdom. Oh, what a freak show. Obviously, Nathan thinks that The Matrix was a documentary film. Let's move on. I can't stand more from this big fool. Okay, that was the Stupidity Club with Nathan Oakley and Taboo Conspiracy. If you liked the video and want to see more and want to help the channel, become a member or hit subscribe, like and so on, and I will see you next time. Thank you, bye.